Hi, Video Diary. I've taken the last couple of days to paint a room in this house. And I find it very meditative. And I have, I always used to talk to Forrest that I would teach him how to paint because a really good painter can get a lot of money. And although a lot of people do it, not a lot of people do it on high end and with like a level of whatever cleanliness. I was going to teach him that because I was lucky enough to learn. And it's something I've fallen back on once in a while. And now I just feel like sometimes when I do it, like the biggest difference, like psychological difference can happen from a really delivered color. Otherwise, I can't draw, or I really appreciate visual art, but I don't know, a spectator. I had a realization that I'm going to die. And it's something I sometimes have said, or when I thought I was being extra cool or whatever, would say something like that, but this one was different. I realized that I would have to go through that experience, you know, and hopefully it would be on good terms. And not for a while, but not knowing. And then realizing that, Forrest has already done that. He beat me to the punch. And that that bothered me. I heard so this thing about dying, because of how much, I don't know what the word is. It's not hurt. It's just like shatter. It's like Forrest took a hammer and just bashed the piece of glass, you know. That's the betrayal part of it, because if it was something I was expecting, or that would have been one thing, but whatever. Those are my words, betrayal, lie, kill yourself, asshole, junkie. Those are all my words. And they're angry words. They're words that I'm using because I'm very angry at what he did. Um, yeah, so having to die, how much will I let this affect my life? Um, and it's a deep thing that I'm talking about. Like, I would need to embrace it. I would need to I would need to do certain things in myself, like grow up in ways that I have been unwilling to. Um, these are not easy things to acknowledge or realize, or want to do. I am being sort of like shoved into a path unwillingly. Um, that's how it feels. Uh, I heard a quote. Um, it's attributed to Jung, but that you shouldn't you shouldn't try to receive knowledge that you're not prepared for. I'm paraphrasing, but that's like what drugs are. It's a knowledge, if you want to call it that. I suppose it's a self-knowledge that if you like being high on heroin, there's a self-referential experience there of what that is, and but is that really self-knowledge, or I don't want to ever find out. Not that, but and so the idea of this quote, or this thought, is that there is very powerful um, information contained inside of us, because really drugs are just unleashing what's inside of you. And I think a good case could be made for us to be, connected, whatever, cosmically. That's the thing that I've been feeling, since Forrest died. Like I feel this, oh, that we're all just, at worst pieces of static, but at best beautiful expressions, or potentially. If some way of thinking of it would say that we're all what we're supposed to be. I don't know what I think about anything. I really don't. I will tell you that all rationales and sophistry and gymnastics about this don't bring my son back. And I realize that like 80% of my discourse is gone, like of my connection. You know, it's that's how much I was satisfied with my relationship with him. That's how deeply that relationship satisfied me. And I keep thinking, like, if a year ago anyone asked me, like, a year ago I was starting to go into production for that show, Forrest would have been thinking about where to buy heroin about now. Yeah, so like all this amount of like talking to people, and I haven't been able to, replace him with conversations or friendships or connections. That I guess is what I'm saying here. It's like when I lost him, I couldn't replace him, and I have this like enormous desire to teach and to learn and to share that it pains me to try to, you know, it pains me to share, with people, or to. When I was reading about the archetype of the wanderer, I saw a lot of, I felt a lot of connection with the isolation, and part of it is the shame, the horror, the trying to make sense of it, the the understanding that I know I'm not separate. I just can't put this anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. I keep wondering, it's like, is this supposed to spark some sort of, life change that I can look back on and say, oh my God, I don't want it to. That's part of my resistance. I've been resistant to taking on meaning from this, purpose and meaning from this. And when I say, when you're resistant to something, that's energy, So I am attached, I'm troubled. But I still can't just get up tomorrow and go, okay, I'm back. Get the band together, you know? And it's weird trying to feel, trying to punish Forrest across the threshold of his very death. Like, I was never like harsh. I mean, I was direct with Forrest, honest and direct. I'm a lot harsher. To hear even how I speak about him now is not how I spoke about him then. Ever. So part of me is like, it's very damaged and hurt personally by what he did. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I write music. I wrote some of these tunes when I was down in Atlanta the last time we were together down there. I do not wish to channel my, grief. I, I get just enraged hearing that kind of thing. Was this supposed to be my son's karma? His end? Is this the end that he was supposed to have? Some people will say it is, because it is the end that he had. And I identify in myself a trait that struggles against rather than accepts, even against things that I cannot change. Like, why am I struggling against this? If that's what I'm doing, I don't even know what I'm doing. That's the best part.